everybody, it's your girl Moesha Chantae. I really haven't even said Happy New Year yet. It's actually the 3rd or 2nd day of February. Yeah, it's the 3rd day of February. Happy New Year. I hope the new year has already started off well for you guys. It started off a little tragic for me. I was visited by Miss Vid, unfortunately. But I'm well now. I'm healthy. Thank God I'm healthy, and my family's healthy, so we're good. Thank God for healing. I really want to change some things on my page, and I've said it multiple times, and I've attempted it, but I didn't really, push through with it. I want to allow myself to be more vulnerable on my channel because I want to have conversations with you guys. I believe that community helps us a lot, But I'm actually here in my bathroom because this is kind of the place where I look myself in the mirror and relieve myself mentally and encourage myself and boost my vibe and whatnot. I want to create a space where we can chat just about things sometimes, but I'm here in my restroom because I need to do my skincare, so we're just gonna do my skincare with me. Honestly, you guys, my skin has been doing terrible things, very disrespectful things. My forehead is clearing up now, but last week my face was completely in shambles. Completely in shambles. So I'm gonna do my little skincare while I talk to you guys. And I'm hoping and praying that I'm in my head. I'm in my head right now while speaking, and I don't want to be in my head while speaking. We ain't gonna do none of that. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna start my skincare. Look at the long locks, honey. So since my skin has been breaking out, like I just mentioned, I have been using the Clear Start by DERMALOGICA. This is the one that I've been pulling on because of the breakouts. Let me wash my face. But yeah, for me, I haven't necessarily set any goals for the new year. Intentionally and partially unintentionally. Mainly unintentionally. And that is because over the past several months, some of the goals that I have from last year, I'm still gonna be working on them for this year. A few of them that I've accomplished, I'm very, very proud of. Last year, I got my license, you guys, last year. Nobody can talk to me, okay? But no, for real. I'm very proud of myself because my friends, they know I was terrified of the road, okay? Did I want to use this cleanser? I really didn't want to use this cleanser. But now it's in my hand, so we're going to use it as our first cleanse. But I am proud of myself. And there are a lot of things that need to be accomplished this year. But knowing me so far, I tend to get really overwhelmed. And I have to give myself goals in bite-sized pieces and steps, because if I do the whole, I'm gonna do a, what is that, vision board, and these are all the goals that I want to accomplish, when I look at them and knowing where I am, and some of them are very much achievable. Of course, if you're gonna make a goal, make it achievable for your setting, for your timeline, it makes sense. But at the same time, a lot of them are things that I just need to do better with. For me, one of my main goals this year is to be, or I'm working towards being, mentally healthy. I did not necessarily disclose this, but a couple years ago I was diagnosed with a disease. I was unfortunately diagnosed with a disease called Graves. And it took me on a journey, a spiral. Everything was just off. This has been about, when did this happen? I was officially diagnosed back in 2019. Was it 2019 or 2018? I was officially diagnosed in 2019, but I was experiencing symptoms as far back as probably 2017, 2018. I think we're 2017. And it was really, really bad. And a part of it that was bad was I found myself to be an anxious person because of the disease. It kind of causes your hormones to be imbalanced in a way. Graves is centered around my thyroid. I have hypothyroidism, and so because of that, it just messed up the hormones in my body. Things were just off. I was overheating. I was always sweaty. I had heart palpitations like crazy. I would be resting and my heart is just racing. A few times I thought I was really having a heart attack. It was very, very scary. I started having tremors where my hands would just shake. My eyes were the worst. My eyes were the worst. My eyes literally did this at one point, where one eye was much bigger than the other, visibly. Like, not, it wouldn't just happen and go away. It was just like my eyes were just like that for a time. So honestly, I have just been trying to work on being mentally well, being physically well, being emotionally well. And honestly, I really have to give it up to God because it's been a lot, and I've just been trying to allow myself to refocus and to recognize that God is forever leading me and guiding me, and that I should not overwhelm myself. So that's one of the reasons why I really haven't made a vision board. Even though the world and everyone and culture does something, if it overwhelms you, just exit stage left, right, downstairs. I don't know. Just take a pause if you need to take a pause, and not trigger yourself if you don't have to. I've always and often said and stated, self-awareness creates a bit of self-care. I believe that wholeheartedly, because the more you know yourself and the more you understand yourself, the outside noise of where everyone tells you to do, who to be, how to act, where to act, what to, how to dress, where to go, things to do, what to pursue, it allows you to not hear it. It like kind of tones them down if you are aware of yourself and you're aware of what you can handle. Another goal for me is to just allow myself to live and allow myself to enjoy my friends and to enjoy people, because I isolate. I do. I isolate on social media. I isolate in real life. It's bad. It's very bad, and it's now become a habit. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's become a habit. First it was just what I do to keep myself safe and comforted, but now it's like I don't really have to talk to people, and that's not okay. That's really not the true me. People who know me very well know that's not Moesha's personality. Moesha is very much and very much, oh, I'm gonna come into the room and make noise and be myself and be loud and be active and laugh and have joy and cultivate joy around me. But when I'm going through things, I'm like, shy away, hide, and everything like that. So that's one of the things we're working on. Oh, didn't tell you guys what I'm using. I am using Clinique Day 3. This is their liquid exfoliator. I switch up my exfoliators every time I use them, so that's the one I'm choosing today. One of the things that I've struggled with last year, though it was so interesting, had highs and lows, a lot of ebbs and flow, is that I'm not or at least I wasn't as confident as I anticipated or believed myself to be. I found myself in positions or situations where I would just sit and second guess everything. And for the past year, honestly, it's been the same conversation that I've been having with myself about trusting myself, reducing doubt, having faith in God above all. If I have faith in God, truly, this is what I believe. If I have faith in God, truly, and yes, I'm human, but if I allow myself to have faith in God truly and surround myself around, the goodness of God and His grace and have faith, then I won't really have that much time to doubt myself. And I believe doubt, of course, definitely comes from the enemy. It's just one of his tactics of stealing. He steals time. He steals time. God knows the amount of time that we have and that He's blessing us with. And the enemy's tactic is to highlight our weakest areas so that we are doubtful of ourselves and even more doubtful of God and what He's able to do in our lives, so that we waste time and don't allow ourselves to actually live in the fullness of God and our abilities and our gifts and the things that we can do and the things that we can aspire to, the people that we can aspire to be. And it's such a clever trick. It's a clever trick. And let me tell you something. Last year, that trick got me. It got me last year. It did. And I still am working myself. Of course, I'm not arguing by myself, but I'm working to teach myself how to step out of that atmosphere where I am doubtful. And so I have to be honest with what triggers those moments and those beliefs of doubt, because it's interesting, like, to be doubtful is crazy, because I've seen some people post, someone posted and said, if you're rooted in their praises, it's easy for you to, if your confidence is rooted in their praises, they can kind of like, what's that word? What is that tweet? Practically, like, if your confidence and how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem is rooted in everyone's claps, it will be destroyed by their no's or their not really feeling it, or their criticisms. And so I have to really teach myself that I shouldn't center my confidence in people and what people say and what people think, or what I think even, but I should center my confidence in God and what He says about me above all, more than anything. And it's just really interesting because it just makes sense. It's like A equals B, 1 + 1 = 2. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I guess how it's set up now with social media and having that instant moment of praises, and sometimes when you're not necessarily getting the praises in real life, when you get the praises on social media, you start feeling yourself like, you want to G with the big boys. You feel like you start G'ing with the big boys, and you get into your head, and then moments of little things not necessarily working out in your favor, or someone else saying something slightly negative to you, it just crushes you. It just crushes you. And I hate that. I hate that my foundation has become so easily crumbled. But that means that it wasn't rock solid to begin with. It wasn't a firm foundation, and that's just where I have to teach myself. My confidence has to lie in God. My confidence has to lie in His promises. It has to lie in who He calls me to be. And having faith in God, He called me to be a really, 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 really dope person. Probably not. I'm being silly. But knowing that He sees me as a special person, and that I don't necessarily have to absorb everyone else's praises to feel special. I can just, listen to Him. But how do I hear from Him if I'm not talking to Him? But shout out to my friends, because, iron sharpens iron. And if somebody's encouraging you and, helping you along your journey, make sure you appreciate them and you let them know that they're appreciated. So shout out to my friends, because I tell them all the time, every conversation, how much I appreciate and love them. I am going to tone my face with this Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Toner. Most times I use my hands, but today I'm gonna just use a cotton round. But yeah, knowing where your confidence lies is very important, and having a firm foundation is vital to your development, because then you won't be so easily shaken. You won't be so easily shaken. Numbers won't affect you. People's yays or nays won't affect you. You won't feel like you need approval. And that's one of the things that I am working on. Feeling like I need approval sometimes, a lot of times. So, it's just one of them. You know, it's just one of them. I hope my lips don't look ashy on camera, because I haven't put on my balm yet. But God is good. And we just have to be cognizant of what's going on and be honest with ourselves and ask for help. Asking for help is so important, you guys. Well, working towards confidence, child, it's a beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing. To work towards something, the journey itself is beautiful. Knowing where it's rooted is beautiful. Sometimes it has to be crushed and crumbled in order to be rebuilt. And it is definitely okay to step away from stuff if you don't feel like you are able to perform the way that you anticipate. I'm now using the Fresh Hydrating Serum, which I really like. I really like this hydrating serum. It's so good. Squeeze it in my hands. But there's a lot of growing, a lot of development that's happening. And I know there's a lot of growth and development happening for you guys as well. I just hope that within this year that we don't become so overwhelmed by stuff and by big goals that start off heavy and thick in January and then fall off a couple of weeks later. It's probably one of the reasons why I didn't do it as well. Did you guys create vision boards? And if you did, does it usually work for you? Have you accomplished anything as of yet in 2022? I know we're only in the second month, but that would be good if someone did. If you did, I'm very, very proud of you. Even if you didn't, I'm so proud of you. Keep working at it. You acknowledge that you haven't necessarily met your goal probably by the time you hope to. But keep working on them. We have this entire year. Now I'm using the Origins Ginzing Into the Glow. It's very yummy into my skin. It gets kind of sticky and tacky, and that's what I like about it. I kind of press some of my skincare into my lips too sometimes. My skincare into my lips sometimes. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but this is how I do it. But yeah, I want to be more vulnerable and comfortable in front of the camera and chatting to you guys, because I just feel like, you know, it just makes sense. Why not talk to you guys? I'm not gonna allow myself to live in fear any longer, or to train myself into fear, because a lot of it is a training. We don't naturally are born fearful people. A lot of it is conditioning. A lot of it is a training. And I just want to, this is my SPF, guys. I just want to, for this year, to be honest, I just want to be open. I want to be fluid. I want things to flow to me. I want things to flow through me. I want God to use me however way He sees fit. I just want to not be a closed mouth anymore. A lot of the closed mouthness, like I said before, is a conditioning of fear. Fear of being judged, fear of a whole lot of things. Fear of sounding dumb, fear of looking silly. And so I've trained and conditioned myself to just be quiet. fear of believing that people don't care, fear of believing that I add no value, fear of believing that I'm not valuable, fear of believing that I'm wasting my time. So I don't like that. I don't stand for that any longer. This year I will no longer pity myself. This year I will no longer allow myself to fall into the enemy's trap of doubt. This year I will no longer cuddle and comfort myself because I'm scared. Everything is fear on this side. And I just don't like it. I don't like it. This is not the woman that I envision myself being. So it's going to involve a lot of undoing, a lot of unlearning, a lot of self-work, a lot of prayer, a lot of devotion, a lot of conversations with God, a lot of exposing myself to new things, to new friends, to expose myself to my friends, being open to my friends, allowing myself to live and to enjoy life. And so I'm grateful so far in the month of February, grateful right now, because again, it's a lot of ebbs and flows. And like I said, I am trying and learning to be confident, but it's not of just a doing, it's a mindset, and a lot of things are involved in that. So pray for me, guys. I'll be praying for you. God is in the neighborhood because good things are happening everywhere to a lot of people. I am just grateful for where I am. I can't believe it. I didn't even say it also. I'm now 25. It's kind of bizarre. And it's like this big age that's making me feel like, okay, Moesha, some things need to be, we need to shake some things off. I'm trying to deal with the big boys, okay? I'm trying to see a different version of myself, not believing that that version is any more worthy than this version, because she's still worthy. It's just, I know there's work that needs to be done. And I'm thinking, I don't know why, I think of the little version of myself, the younger version of myself, and how I want to make her proud. And then eventually being a mother one day, not now, to a young girl, and making her see an example of what a woman who has been through some things is capable of, and what, not necessarily I want to live to inspire my daughter. I'm not one of those people that I want to be my daughter's biggest hero, but if I am, that would be really cool. That'd be kind of cool. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and a lot of it takes first vulnerability and awareness, and then it takes work and prayer and dedication and discipline. And so I'm hoping that by God's grace that I allow myself to live this year, that I allow myself to experience things, to see new heights, to see new places, to meet people, to love on myself, to smile wider than I've smiled last year, to laugh louder than I've laughed last year, to just be whole and to feel whole, and not to feel pity, not to feel sad, not to feel doubtful, not to feel envy, not to feel jealousy, not to compare myself and then belittle myself, but to just see some beautiful things, because God has created me to be a beautiful person. God has created you to be a beautiful person, and I want you to know that as well. And yeah, so take good care of yourselves, guys, this year. I hope this is not the last time that I show up in this manner. I really hope it's not. I know it's very hard and uncomfortable to be vulnerable to begin with, but I really hope that it's not. But thank you guys so very much for watching. I finished my little skincare. If you guys actually want to know, or actually want a full skincare routine, let me know. I'll definitely tag the products that I used today in the description box below. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.